Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to be doing, what the heck was that? Going to be doing a carburetor cleaning on this backpack blower, this Echo 9010T. This thing just started bogging down heavy on throttle and just automatically knew what it was. And a lot of times with these diaphragm carburetors, it is inevitable, especially with lawn equipment, debris is going to get in somehow, whether it's the fuel, the filter, the hoses, the gasket's gone bad, it'll get in there. But a little bit of maintenance, compressor and some carb cleaner, you're good to go. For the compressor, it helps out a ton, blowing through all the airways, the fuel ways throughout the carburetor, getting all that debris out of there as best as you can prior to disassembling, just so you can avoid getting any extra stuff in there while cleaning it through. Now this one, it was pretty caked up on the inside, so I went through a couple times, just made sure I got all those airways, all those fuel lines, all those little jets cleaned out. And yes, I know you wouldn't normally use a impact on that soft metal material, but I was absolutely too lazy to go get a screwdriver. And the one right there in the video, that thing was stripped. That I've had that thing for years, and that thing it couldn't even do it. Now, right off the bat, pulling this thing out of the carburetor housing, this thing just, you can't really tell, but all that oil from the fuel mixture just had all that debris stuck all along the plastic. And like any other part, this one is very critical for the carburetor's function. This is the Venturi insert right here, and this controls that airflow pulling fuel from the carb at high RPMs. Now, when this thing isn't functioning right, all you're gonna get is an idle. You're gonna hit that gas and it's not gonna do its job. Now, you can't really see it in this video, but all along that rim right there, there's a bunch of debris, tiny little particles that go ahead and just clog up this main jet right here, and that causes the problem with these carburetors just about every time, about like 99.9999% of the time. That is your guy right there. Now, different carbs have different makes, but they all got that same main jet that flows fuel through. Now, aside from debris, if you got your machine stored for a very long time, it can cause buildup. Now, if you don't have a compressor and you want to use like a little wire or a little brush thread or whatever, that works too, and a lot of people do that at the same time, but you just got to be careful not to jam up anything. Now, in this case, I'm going to reuse all of the gaskets. They were fine. They were absolutely fine. They just needed to be cleaned up real quick. Make sure you blow out all the airways, all the fuelways, all those little jets and lines running through that carburetor, and get them cleaned out of all the debris that may be inside. Now, a nice piece of knowledge I learned a while back, for those of you who have a hard time with this, or you guys don't do this but you want to try do it yourself, the last part you take off is the first part you put back on. And now with this freaking screwdriver, I couldn't get it to take off any of these screws without stripping the heads to save my life. But to snug them back on tight, she wanted to work just fine. And there you go. Now let's go put this thing back on. Another one you want to inspect is your lines, your hoses. This yellow one I changed out a while back, but this return line right here, this orange one, I didn't. But it seemed fine. It didn't have any cracks on the inside. Had some small ones coming in on the outside. It's been used, it sits through the weather. That's normal. Just know when to change it. In this instance, I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse it. I've got extra line, but it's fine. I'm not worried about it. And yes, I also did change the fuel filter. I changed the fuel filter before I worked on it, but again, this thing was just sitting for some weeks now. Just haven't made the time to do it until now. And keep in mind, this diagnostic and this repair on this carburetor for this backpack blower. You know, I don't normally make these videos. I've never made these videos. I think that's what it is, what's going on. But what I was saying was that with these machines and with this equipment, it's not broken down just to this type. If it has a carburetor, this is possible. You just need maintenance day to day. Make sure you're taking care of your equipment. Now, if you're storing it, that's a whole nother thing. For those of you that do store your equipment, don't use it day to day. A fuel stabilizer helps prevent varnish and clogged up passages. I'll leave in the description some options that I've used personally and they work great. Now just listen to this weapon right here. And just like that, after running this thing jacked up for a little while, she's back to top shape. Just make the time. Maintenance your things.